trust you all have a favorite movie. What is your favorite movie, Samantha?
I don't have a favorite movie, ma'am. I love all the movies that I've watched.
My favorite is The Lord of the Rings.
And you, John?
Star Wars?
Okay. Now tell me, Samantha, since you like all the movies you have watched, would you say you like action, drama, horror, or do you like comedy?
What type of a movie is Mr. Ibu?
That's comedy.
Okay, now think of your favorite book, not the magazine or newspaper you read the other day. What is your favorite novel? You must have read about other people, like what celebrities' favorite novels are.
My favorite is The Adventures of Tom Sawyer.
Good, Kennedy. Now, movies, books, etc. are all forms of literature, like these. The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, Lord of the Rings, The Other Presents, and of course, Calabash. Now everyone, take note. Literature. It is important to understand literature. There are many reasons why we should study a language and its literature. Learning a language is one of the most enriching experiences in anybody's education. For example, English as a second language is not only about how to write a letter, complete a form, or how to read and understand English notices. It entails exploring a way of life, different cultures and traditions of another country. Literature is a great way to step out of our own space and time. It is like a window through which we encounter different people, and that is why it is so interesting to study literature and a language.
Hi everyone, welcome to Program 1 of our new JSC English Second Language video series from Namcol. Our lesson today is about Introduction to Literature. So, after watching this lesson, you should be able to understand the meaning of literature and understand the difference between fiction and non-fiction. Why should we study literature? Well, we study literature for fun and entertainment, to obtain knowledge about other people, places, experiences, situations, etc., to see what other people think about certain issues, and to stimulate our imagination. Literature also helps us to fantasize about things that may be outside our world of experience, to increase our general knowledge, and to compare our behavior with that of fictitious characters in a story. Besides, paper 4 of the JSC examination is on literature. It is 1 hour and 30 minutes long, and it weighs a total of 40 marks. You will have to answer 2 questions only, 1 question on each of the 2 prescribed books. The Other Presents by the author Francis Sifiso Nyati, and Calabash, a cluster of short stories by J.G. Goodacre and S. Makosana. So, let's go back to Ms. Amakali's class to learn more about literature. Enjoy the program with us. Thank you.
Can you all please settle down? Guys, can we settle down so we can begin with today's lesson? Right, today we are further going to look at literature.
I hate literature. I never seem to score good marks, and I just don't understand why I should read these books.
Yes, ma'am, like for real. There are just too many terminologies that we need to understand, and I can't seem to remember what I've read.
Yes, I've picked up that most of you do not like to read. However, understanding literature better will help you in grasping the important elements and meanings of what you are reading. The definition of literature is all written work, especially if it is considered to be quite artistic. Literature is something most, if not all, people are exposed to. And when we start learning a language or how to read and write, we are learning literature at the same time. And you won't actually know that you are.
Ma'am, what is literature?
Not all forms of writing are considered to be literature. Data lists and recorded information are not considered to be literature. For example, the telecom directory is not literature.
Ma'am, so then what is literature?
John, literature is the term used to describe written or spoken material. Broadly speaking, literature is used to describe anything from creative writing to more technical and scientific works. But please note, the term is most commonly used to refer to works of the creative imagination, including works of poetry, drama, fiction, and non-fiction. Do you understand, John?
Okay, miss, I see.
Okay, now let us take a brief look at the history of literature. There is no definite point in the history of writing where writings were first called literature. It began in the 18th century and furthermore developed by the end of this century and into the 19th century.
That's right, ma'am. The English novelists and Greek writers of plays are popularly known to have started literature, but the exact origin of literature are an ongoing debate amongst scholars today. What do you think, ma'am?
Okay, before you all think this is a history class, let us look at the different styles and genres of literature, namely drama, poetry, prose such as short stories, novels, and novellas. Now, a short story is exactly what its name says, a story which is short.
And a novel, miss?
Well, a novel is a specific style or genre of writing literature in which a story that develops over a long period in various or different settings is narrated.
I see. But then what's the difference between a novel and a novella?
Okay, everyone please take note. The difference between the two is that the novella is much shorter than a novel. To some people, the novel, The Other Presents, can be viewed as a novella since it is shorter than the novels they know. But for the purposes of your studies, we shall call it a novel as most people can see it fitting that category.
John, Calabash has short stories, and The Other Presents is a novel.
Yes, you are absolutely correct, Kennedy. A novel is different from a short story as it can tell stories of different characters with complex actions. These events are eventually resolved at the end of the story, showing a relation and how the different conflict situations are linked, while a short story takes place over a short time span with fewer characters.
Ma'am, you're starting to use terms that I simply do not understand.
Can you be a bit more specific, dear?
What are characters, events, conflict situations? I'm lost.
Okay, right. Let's start off by looking at the different books you have read. When you read a book or a story, it can either be fiction or non-fiction. Does anyone know what this means? Yes, Kennedy?
Fiction is when a story is not real, meaning the whole story cannot be humanly possible. For example, the short story Thief of Heaven. There's no way animals can talk and steal the sun.
Yes, very good, Kennedy. Thief of Heaven is an African folk tale woven around animals. Non-fiction basically means it is humanly possible or it is about facts and events that really took place.
Like the novel The Other Presents.
Yes, however, there are certain parts which seem like they can be fiction, right? What you should remember is that fiction is a piece of literature that is created from imaginations, characters who aren't real people, have never existed, and events that have not taken place. Non-fiction is based on reality and events that have happened.
I think I finally understand.
That's good. So on the next lesson, we are going to look at what are characters.
So, let's sum up what we've learned today. Literature is a great way of exploring and learning about other cultures and people. It consists of various genres, namely drama, poetry, and prose, such as short stories, novellas, and novels. A short story usually covers a short time span. A novel can develop over a long period of time, but a short story happens quickly. Then again, a novella is much shorter than a novel. Fiction is a piece of literature that is created from imagination. Characters who aren't real people, have never existed, and events that have not happened. And lastly, non-fiction is based on reality and events that really happened. Shall we go? So you're gonna read first? Find us a seat? Oh, and this concludes Program 1 in our 5-part series for JSC English Second Language. Please participate in our SMS competition. The rules are as follows. Send your SMS to the number 5003. In the message box under the number, type in the keyword for today's program, which is the word literature. Then identify the correct option, A, B, C, or D. Remember to choose one answer, please. And we have a prize for the winner. Here's the question. The Other Presence is a good example of which genre? Is it A, drama, B, a short story, C, a novel, or D, a novella? Here's the question again. The Other Presence is a good example of which genre? Is it A, drama, B, a short story, C, a novel, or D, a novella? We are waiting for your SMS. Maybe you could be the lucky winner of our special prize. Please join us again for the next lesson. Until then, from all of us at Namcol, goodbye and take care.